What's up, everyone? Welcome back to STEEPCAST. This is episode 3. So today, we have our first challenge results way back from week 1. Mitch, what do we got planned for episode 3?
This week, we'll cover the Steep news. We'll get into our favorite content in the Reddit Roundup. Our main topic will be a brief history of Steep. After that, we'll get into our weekly challenge and photo contest. And finally, we'll answer your questions from last week.
Sounds good. Let's dive into some news.
There is an X Games 2020 event going on this week in Steep. Check out the X Games event and take the gold in the X Games Series PvP playlist to get the big prize. There are a new set of 7 weekly challenges to conquer this week. One of my favorites is called Special Grinds, where you have to get 15 50-50 grinds on the Street Styler challenge in Alaska.
And the Steep World Tour Finals will begin January 24th, running through the 26th. You have 20 tries to improve your result and reach the top 3. That challenge takes place on the half pipe in the Alps, and the top prizes for the Steep World Tour, again, are $50,000 for first, $25,000 for second, and 12,500 Steep credits for third place. Good luck to everyone competing.
Don't forget that one of the prizes was also a Steep snowboard. Nick, did you play in the Steep World Tour tournament this week?
No, absolutely not. I am, like I said last week, I am abysmal at challenges, but I know that you are still ranked on the PS4, right?
I am still ranked. Back on the weekend, I was in 64th place, but that has dropped to 106th overall, so
Woo.
I have been trying today, but I do not think I'll be able to catch up to the top 100 and make it.
How many more tries do you have?
Let's see, you got 200 tries. I think I've done 150 so far.
Oh, you got it. Come on, man. Dig deep. All right, well, while Mitch goes and tries to get back into the top 100 on PS4, I'd say it's time to get ourselves into the Reddit Roundup. All right. First up in the Reddit Roundup this week, we have Onyx7149 with a screenshot titled, "Hello, ladies." This one, I'm absolutely cracking up at this. The neck on his character is just so strangely long. It doesn't even look like a human poking through the mountains, but hey, hello, ladies.
Next up, we've got This Game Is Too Beautiful, and I love the way that the shadow is so much larger than the skier, and the shadows from the crescent moon in the background too, so just an awesome photo.
Our next photo is from a Baked Potato 79. It is another silhouette photo that they took in the Alps, and this just blows me away. It absolutely blows me away, and I have no idea if they're using After Effects or anything on top of this, on top of the in-game editor, but these photos just take my breath away. I want more and more and more of these. Please, a Baked Potato.
I talked to a Baked Potato, and these are all from in-game, which is even more impressive. He's playing with one of the filters in photo mode, and then some of the adjustments you can make too, kind of like the brightness, the contrast, the saturation. So he's found his own special way they make these silhouettes possible.
Just phenomenal work. I want everybody to strive for this level of photography in the game from now on. There's no exception. The bar has been set.
We also have a clip this week submitted by Wolfsy Nova. It was so great that it was shared by Ubisoft Steep on Twitter, and it's of him hitting a massive kicker and then grinding along one of the power rails in the game. So check out the rest of this clip. The last photo we have this week from Aiden0328 is of him matching with a random stranger on the mountain. I just thought this photo was cool because they're wearing the exact same outfit, but with different, but still close to the same snowboards, one black and one white. And it just makes me think of there being clans or something in Steep where everyone's wearing the same exact outfit and that you know they're a part of that group.
Just another shout out to all of these fantastic artists on Reddit. Keep it up, guys. Like we said, the bar is just being set higher and higher every single week, and Mitch and I's jaws are dropping to the floor every single time we go onto Reddit and see these beautiful works of art. Keep it up. Alright, let's jump into our main topic this week and give you guys a brief history of the game that we all love.
We thought this would be fun to do as there is probably a lot of players now that picked up the game in the past year or so, with it being free on PlayStation Plus, Uplay, and the Epic Games Store all in just the last year. So you may have missed out on how this game kind of started and what's been released before you picked it up.
So let's wind the clock way back to June 13th, 2016, when Steep was announced at E3 Ubisoft. Created and developed by Ubisoft Annecy, this was their first original game, although they previously worked on Assassin's Creed and Splinter Cell multiplayers, and it was influenced by the mountains surrounding the Annecy office. It even won E3's Best Sports Game that year.
It won several different awards from E3 and then in the next couple months, as it was unique. It was one of the only sports games coming out at the time, not based on the NHL or the NFL or baseball. And it reminded a ton of players about the Skate series, Skate 3 especially. So people were hyped to play this game, and they got the chance starting in November. There was a closed beta on November 10th, and then they got an open beta a week later.
Finally, on December 2nd, 2016, the game launched and received positive reviews. I believe it ranked around, a 70% on Metacritic?
Yeah, it's sitting at a 72 on Metacritic right now. It had the positives of it was a good game to play. A lot of the negative at the time was that you had to be online to play, and there wasn't much to do in the game outside of the challenges that they added. So some people wanted a little more out of that. Now, they did try to build a community around the game, and shortly after that, they started a Steep Stars segment on their website where they would highlight certain players' content and show off some of their videos, their pictures. That's where they got a lot of members of the Yeti Society.
So at the start of 2017, in January, we saw our very first Steep World Tour tournament. It is the same 3-phase tournament that we see in the game today. And in February, the Alaska Massif was announced. This was a huge release.
It was a free update to all players that added a new mountain, Mount Denali, based in Alaska. Now, in May 2017, that's when they released Winterfest, which took place in the Alps, and it was a piece of DLC with a ton of new challenges and some crazy props that were placed all throughout the mountain. Around this time, we also saw the release of the Extreme Pack DLC, which included rocket wings, base jumping, speed gliding, and challenges to go along with all of those.
Immediately following the debut of rocket wingsuits and all of those awesome features, the Road to the Olympics DLC was announced in June 2017. The beta was released in late November, and it was released on December 5th.
With the Road to the Olympics DLC, there was a competitors tournament where the top slalom player on each platform and the best player from the open beta in downhill got to go to the Steep Road to the Olympics Grand Finals, along with 2 extras that were picked by Ubisoft.
There was also a Shoutcaster tournament that went along with these contests, and yours truly, the both of us, got to Shoutcast the finalist tournament. On January 27th in Katowice, Poland, 2 winners were crowned for slopestyle and downhill. Respectively, those players were Snicks and Bone Crusher 2D. Those 2 competitors then joined some developers in a trip to Pyeongchang to watch the opening ceremonies of the 2018 Winter Olympics.
In the following months, we saw 3 new additions to the game. They started off their live seasons in March 2018, where they would have certain themes. In April, they released the Japan map to go alongside with the Road to the Olympics DLC. And in June, they added one of the fan favorites, a photo mode to Steep.
Then in October, the beta PvP mode was released along with the X Games.
Steep went free to play on PlayStation Plus in January 2019, on Uplay in May, and then the Epic Games Store in January 2020. This brought a huge wave of new players to Steep, which you can still see today. Anytime you play one of the World Tour challenges, there are a ton of people trying to get onto the leaderboard.
And finally, we are caught back up. At the beginning of 2020, the Season 14 of the Steep World Tour has been released, and Steep is still releasing new challenges and gear all the time.
We hope you enjoyed this look back into Steep's history, but now we're going to jump into our weekly challenge. Going back to week 1, our challenge was in Snowpark to Bargy. We got one submission from Jack Went Home, so take a look at his clip here and find his channel link down below.
Congrats to Jack on winning our first video challenge. Our theme for week 3 will be Big Air. It is yet another Tartiflet Games jump. You can catch the location in the video, and please, have fun and be safe trying to land this one. Mitch, is there anything they need to watch out for on this jump?
This jump has gone through some changes, especially with one of the updates they added to the game. It became a lot harder to land from this jump, so you got to take careful consideration into your landing spot and how crazy of a trick you're pulling off, because the landings for me right now are at about 30%.
Jeez, and you are not one to miss a jump. Again, be safe, have fun, and we can't wait to see your submissions. We have 2 photo contest winners for week 1. Again, Jack Went Home secures his spot with some incredible pictures on his rocket wingsuit.
We also have a picture from Steep Clips Germany on Twitter. That is of him on skis coming extremely close to one of the rocks on the mountain. Great shot.
So I touched on it a bit in the week 2 video, but one of my favorite parts of this game are all of the tiny little Easter eggs hidden throughout these different mountains. So for our photo contest theme for week 3, I want to send people out to find their favorite Easter eggs in the game and to do something innovative and interesting around those. If you decide to post these videos or pictures to Twitter, be sure to use hashtag STEEPCAST so we can find your submissions easily. It has been an absolute treat to view all of the submissions from these challenges, and we look forward to debuting the winners of week 2 next week in week 4. So without further ado, let's cut to our final section. Let's get some Q&A going.
Our first question comes from Jack Went Home, the wonderful man who submitted all of these clips and videos from the challenges. His first part was, will the show be on Spotify or Apple? And we discussed this when we were coming up with the idea of the show. Right now it's not going to be, but maybe at some point in the future we'll consider putting it on audio. I do think it would be good, mainly because they could listen to it on Spotify while playing Steep on their PlayStation or PC or Xbox.
Yeah, so if you agree with Jack and would like to see this expand to some other platforms, please share these videos with all of your friends. Get them watching. We want to make sure that we have a big enough community base that it won't just be for nothing if we spend some extra money and get these on some other platforms.
The second part of his question is, what are we doing for 100 subs, which we just hit yesterday, so congratulations, Nick.
Yeah,
and
congrats, Mitch.
What are we doing?
Can we get back to you in week 4? I really don't know what to do for 100 subs. It's wonderful, and I want to do something big, but I'm drawing a blank right now. Here, how about this? For now, Mitch, go grab your favorite beer. Here's cheers to 100 subscribers.
Cheers, Nick.
Cheers.
We got another question from Chris Wan this week. Since it's the X Games week, which it is coming up on Thursday the 23rd, so check that out on TV or online or wherever you like to watch things. He asked, snowmobiles, yeah or no? And this has been brought up in the Steep community a bunch. I would love for snowmobiles to be added to the game, as they do have freestyle events and racing events in the X Games, but it would just be a great way to check out some of the mountains in Steep.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. If Steep is going to go full out in the X Games like they already are, snowmobiles would be a wonderful addition to the new game, on top of just exploration on a snowmobile. I know that that's a ton of work, but it would be something that I think everyone would be pleased with.
It was also something that at one point people argued against, as it would make traveling the mountain too quick or too easy to discover places. I think with the addition of the rocket wingsuit, we can add snowmobiles.
Yeah, there's no way that a snowmobile will be a faster mode of transportation than a rocket wingsuit in the game. And on top of that, once you hit level 30, you already have fast travel in Mountain View. So exploration should be your number one concern for a fast-moving vehicle like a rocket wingsuit or a snowmobile. So to the naysayers, quit complaining. Come on, guys. We all want snowmobiles. It's something that even the people who are saying no to, we know that you're going to be riding snowmobiles when no one's watching. Don't lie to yourself.
He also asked about our favorite brands, whether they're in or out of the game. It's been a while since I've hit the mountains, so my favorite brand is probably K2. That's the set of skis that I like to rock in Steep right now, and I think it would be the set of skis I would buy before going back to the mountain. I want to get the same ones my character uses in the game, which is the K2 Poacher. They look great, and they are a wonderful all-around ski. What about you, Nick?
Yeah, it's the same situation for me. I haven't owned my own snowboard in quite a long time. I think I've grown out of it. It's maybe been 5 to 10 years since I have fit my size snowboard that I have at my parents' house. But it was a Burton, and I couldn't tell you the actual name of the model of snowboard that I had, but it was a Burton, and I would love to get back into a Burton board when it's more feasible for me to buy a new snowboard. I would also love to see that brand come into the game. I think Burton has a wonderful grasp on design, and their graphics are just stellar. I mean, look at the Olympics in 2018 when they did those astronaut uniforms for Red Gerard and the other snowboarders. Those things just absolutely blew me away. So I think partnering up with Burton would be a great move for the Steep devs and would bring a whole new pop of color and pop of design into the game.
Finally, he asked our favorite trick in the game, and mine...
Okay. I think we both have the same favorite trick. Let's say it after 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Slow backflip.
This trick just looks gorgeous, no matter where you do it, whether you do it facing forwards or facing backwards, especially if you're on skis. The way he just leans back, not grabbing the skis at all. It's just perfect.
Oh, a slow backflip just gets me all tingly inside. Doesn't get you a lot of points in the game, but man, if someone submits a video challenge with a slow backflip, you can, I don't want to say guarantee, but that's almost a golden ticket. Well, that's it for week 3 of STEEPCAST. Again, hope you guys are enjoying this. Thank you so much to the people who are involved with our challenges and our questions. It's been wonderful to get to know and to talk to other people that are involved in the Steep community. Be sure to share this video with all of your friends, upvote us on Reddit, like us, and subscribe to us on YouTube. The whole thing, you know what to do. So without further ado,
we'll see you next week, and we'll see you on the slopes.